What's up, Cryptosomniacs? Happy Friday. Welcome to a big green day in BTC. Price is currently at 5,676. Looks like we had a huge spike up overnight. Over the last 7 or 8 hours, we went essentially from, I would say, somewhere between the mid 5400s all the way to the top, hitting almost 5800. This is essentially where one of our targets was that we stated, a week or two ago. Okay. Now you could see what's happening with BTC right now is a pretty strong rejection here at the 5800 where sellers were just waiting, right? And I would say there's going to be a bit of a retrace. We're going to pull back up here, try again, probably get rejected halfway right around 5750 or so, and then probably create some lower highs and see if we can come back to this 56, 58, 500 area, test it as support, and then keep on moving back up. Okay. Now, just like the 5600 area, right? Like right over here, we came to test it once, got rejected, tested it twice, got rejected, moved away, created a lower high right here, and then strong rejection, created a bear flag thinking we're going to go down all the way to 4800, but then rather this was essentially a big shakeout. The smart money picking up from the retail hands and then pushing prices back up to newer, higher highs, right? As per this previous swing, okay? Closing above this wick right here is going to be imperative, especially on the daily, because that would imply that, this was a successful move, not just a sort of a double top per se, right? Because this could definitely happen where price could just double top right here and close underneath it. And then this is really a big wick, taking out some orders from the sellers. Either way, both of these scenarios for the double tops are somewhat bullish in a sense, because if we get double top right here, right? So we come back like this, and then we create another higher low, and then we test that same area again and keep on moving up. That means that even though the pressure, the sell pressure right here was strong, it was not strong enough to fully destroy the price. Rather, we just came back up and started to grind past it again. Kind of like we did over here, right? We touched it once. Actually, we touched it at the bottom right there once, twice, 3 times, broke up, fake out, came back again, and now we finally broke past it, right? So these are some of the scenarios I'm looking at, but as I'd stated, I was fairly neutral down here. When we started seeing prices tick up past 5,300, then I was definitely bullish, and I knew that prices were going to keep on moving. But I didn't really have a great opportunity because I didn't see the LTC or Ethereum moving well. In hindsight, BTC would have probably been the best bet to trade on, but that's okay. When we're always going to find new opportunities to be able to make some trades. Okay, so now our goal is to look at the market, and while BTC sort of calms down and pulls back, because I highly doubt that price of BTC is going to just keep on moving up. I think it's going to retrace for the next couple days, probably to 5,600, maybe stay at 5,700, retest maybe that 5,550 area. So within this, 5,550 all the way to 5,800, we're going to have some unique opportunities to find some trades. One of which specifically I've been paying attention to is Ethereum, as you guys very well know. Let's take a look at ETH, okay? So here's ETH almost perfectly hitting that descending trend line. Still really nothing out of it though, as you can see. We're still just, trapped underneath it, unfortunately. We did break past 160, so that's positive. Currently, ETH is trading at right around 166.25. Still waiting for this 167 to be broken successfully. If that 167 is broken, that means that the descending trend line will be broken, and then you can have better opportunities for ETH trade. Longing ETH right now, obviously, would be wise for the long term, but in the shorter term, intraday, intra-week trades, not so wise. Let's take a look at LTC, same thing. Okay, so here, now this presents a unique opportunity for LTC for us, okay? LTC has clearly broken out of this sort of falling wedge right here, maybe even a descending parallel channel. So LTC technically is looking a lot better. Now, if we start going down on the smaller time frames, we're definitely going to find an opportunity. Somewhere around 74 and 75 and a half is where I'm going to start scoping out opportunities for a long. Okay, so I'm going to mark this out right now for myself, and you guys can, at your own volition, think about trading this area. Okay, so this is essentially the area that I want to look at for LTC to get into long position. Okay, like I said, anywhere between 74 and say 75 and a half, right? Why? Because that'll bring up almost a nice 50 to 618 Fib retrace. Let's mark it out. As you can see, it hits both those levels. Okay, so and both those levels for this entire move right here, I'm pretty happy with. Okay, if I get to buy this move at this retrace right here, anywhere between 74 and 75 and a half, I'll be happy with that. All right, so for the most part, as you can see, LTC to me is a buy, now just waiting on the retrace. All right, let's go to our favorite BAT and see how BAT is doing. BAT still has not sort of come to the level that I'm waiting for, which is the bottom descending or ascending trend line, this huge parallel channel that I've been following for many, many months. And this channel has played out very successfully for me multiple times. So unless BAT sort of creates a higher high per se, as well as breaks out of these three trend lines, one of these conditions or both of these conditions must be met. Okay, so like I said, either BAT needs to come down here, okay, and touch this trend line, which then gives me satisfaction that, okay, something that's been happening for months has happened again, and this allows me to take a trade based off that. I need to either see a couple of higher lows like this and some higher highs, okay, and then I don't mind getting in at a higher price, or I want to see a nice bounce off this as well as a break up above this, and then I don't mind getting in either. Okay, as you can see, none of those conditions have come true yet, so I still remain neutral and just waiting patiently on BAT. All right, so for the most part, guys, I'm still 100% in cash, as you very well know. I try to announce it every single day. ADA was stopped out for me at a 4% loss just yesterday, but it was a perfect stop because we basically sold off right near the break of the trend line, as you can see. Right, so we had this ascending trend line right here coming up, and price found a quick bounce right here, or actually I think it was somewhere around this candle right here yesterday, right? So price sort of touched this trend line, broke right under it by a couple of satoshis, as you can see. The low was 1239, and then the next candle, which is today, so for the last 12 hours we just ripped right past it, and so I avoided this loss, which would have been another 3 or 4%. Okay, so I'm happy to avoid that. Sometimes, guys, we're not going to find the best trades. Crypto market is very volatile, and it's very hard to gauge which alts are going to stay resilient against BTC. More often than not, it's rarely a few. So RDN actually helped cover the 4.2% loss of ADA. Why? Because we got into 5,300 right here somewhere. Okay, so let me see where 5,300 is. Right about there. We closed about half that position right around 17%, which was this green marker right here. And then the remaining 17%, we actually had a stop for somewhere around 5,500 or so. I think it was like this wick right here that took us out. So 5,400 and some change is where we got taken out, and then we avoided the rest of this loss. So 17% on half our position, and then from 5,300 right about there to here, about 3%. Okay, so cumulatively, on RDN we made about, I don't know, anywhere between 10 to 12% on our trade, okay, which easily covered the losses of ADA. And so for the most part, again, I still remain in cash, waiting for BAT. LTC, retrace, and maybe some other alts. Let's take a look at XRP and see if that monster has given us any signals at all whatsoever. Nope, not a single bit. As you can see, it's actually breaking down past this support right here that I spoke about, and I told you guys that if price did not get past 6,200 right here, more than likely it's going to keep on coming down, and if this breaks over the next 12 hours, which would be the daily close, look out for about that 4,200 Satoshi level. It's going to get really rough, guys, so keep an eye on XRP. Speaking of TRX, let's take a look at that as well. Nothing special on TRX either. Probably waiting for this higher low ascending trend line. Price will probably meet it somewhere around, I don't know, high 300s. So it's coming close to breaking even the 786 fib level. TRX, XRP looking especially brutal, as you know, a majority of alts are, right? I did a big analysis on the entire crypto market cap, and I stated that the crypto market cap as a whole, I forget what it was called, maybe it was total 2. I wish I knew the ticker. It's not easily found on here. But anyway, so for the most part, the crypto market cap as a whole was looking like it needs a big pullback. And it's really not about the market cap itself suffering. It's more so that BTC is taking strength away, right? Because if BTC looks strong, that means people want to get those quick gains from BTC and not be, you know, trapped in alts, suffering 5, 10, 20% losses, which is totally reasonable, I would say. So they jump from alts to BTC, and that also causes a market cap devaluation on most alts, or the crypto alt market cap as a whole. Okay. Now people are saying that, hey, could this also be a bearish divergence? Yeah, very well could be. But what we need to wait for is this level right here, which is, actually, let me mark this out with a horizontal ray. So that level right there is 75.85, okay? So if this RSI keeps climbing above it, that means that this bearish divergence will have played out. Why? Because remember, guys, bearish divergence means higher highs on the price, lower highs on the oscillator. So in this case, the oscillator is the RSI. So now if, say, the RSI started to curl down right here, okay, like literally in the next couple of hours, that means then we can see a potential bearish divergence start playing out. Unfortunately, the RSI hasn't curled down yet, and we cannot definitively say that it will play out, okay? So for the most part, I'm going to wait and see exactly what the price of BTC gives us. It may keep climbing up towards 5,800, 5,900. We'll see. Okay. Still's got a lot of room to grow. Let's check out the volume. I want to check this out real quick. And I think I mentioned this. I think the pivot should have definitely been hit on the daily chart and the 4-hour. Okay, so the 4-hour chart, our pivot not only hit right there, but exceeded past it. The next pivot lies right around 5,900 or so, 5,950, just to be safe. The daily pivot is probably around the same area, the daily R1 right there, okay? So just $10 off. So as you can see, we still actually may have more room to go on the daily chart for this price to keep going. Again, we still have about 12 hours left in the daily candle, guys, so a lot of room to go. Volume, as you can see, is nicely increasing, and a steady increase in volume, so very positive sign from BTC. All right, folks, that's pretty much all I have for the update. I still remain bullish in terms of BTC trying to keep moving up. The 6,000 level is where I will start getting a little bit more careful with my capital. For now, I'm still waiting 100% in cash, waiting for a retrace, waiting for BAT, LTC, Ethereum, even BCH to give me some signals, okay? So let's wait on these, and I'll catch up with you guys later through the day. Cheers. Have a great Friday, guys.